Hey guys, J-Man here for another Spawn review. Today, we're talking about Gunslinger Spawn number 11. We're going to talk about everything pretty much, not just 11. 12 is coming out this week, I believe. And as you guys know, if you've been following any of my other videos, I used to do a weekly X-Men talk, which I've now stopped doing. I've also stopped reading it. I've got, not too long ago, a month or so, maybe two, I started to get really fed up with a lot of the stuff from Marvel Comics in general. I've actually canceled all Marvel Comics, except for New Mutants. And I'm collecting that more out of a sense of loyalty to the New Mutants. It's just, I've always liked the New Mutants, so I've just continued on with that. And it's like, it's okay, but really it's, you know, it's not really that special, but I'm continuing it just out of the love of the New Mutants and the loyalty that I have to them. Same with Action Comics, which is Superman, a book, and Wonder Woman. Superman's my favorite character, so I'm never going to not collect a Superman comic as long as it's Kal-El. So Action Comics is where Kal-El is, so I will continue to get that even though I have not liked this storyline at all, and it's just been boring. And Wonder Woman, same thing. Wonder Woman's one of my favorites. There's a Wonder Woman shelf right there. So definitely never going to stop her. Batman, I've kind of read digitally, but that's it. So in terms of physical comic books, I only get Action, Wonder Woman, and New Mutants. The rest, the Batman books, I get digital. And then for physical books, non-DC Marvel, non-Big Two, I get every Spawn-related comic. And I believe that Spawn and all of its related comics, Spawn, King Spawn, The Scorched, and Gunslinger Spawn, represent the best value for your money. You're paying $2.99 for this comic, and I feel that you're getting a lot of value out of these comics. I don't think you're getting this value out of the $4.99 price tags of the DC books or the $3.99 or $4.99, whatever it is for the Marvel books. Especially the Marvel ones. I don't think you're getting value out of those at all. I think you're wasting your money buying this stuff. Now that said, let's get into Gunslinger. I've recently caught up on Gunslinger. I just read number 11 yesterday. And I have to tell you that Gunslinger is my favorite comic book right now. Easy. There's not like, I love all 4 Spawn comics. I have only read issue 1 of The Scorched. It's a fantastic. All 4 Spawn books to me represent the best in quality of comics that I'm enjoying right now. I don't know. I'm not reading everything. I did pick up other Image titles. I was a big time Image guy from the beginning. I bought all Image comics that came out from 92, whatever it was. Youngblood, Brigade, all that stuff. I read Spawn 1 to 50, collected it monthly for 50 issues. I ended up back in the day, about maybe 15, 20 years ago, selling all my comics, or selling a lot of my comic books. I kept some of the older ones, like sort of my childhood favorites, you know, and because I had a lot of long boxes and it was just difficult to store. And I actually regret selling my Spawn collection and my Image comics. And as of recently, I have been able to get back all of the Image comics except for the Spawns. Spawn is the only ones I haven't been able to get back, but I'm going to try to slowly work on it. So I started again with Spawn 300, and I've tried to collect everything. Now I have everything for The Scorched, everything for King Spawn, and everything for Gunslinger. I am missing about 6 or 7 Spawn issues. It's like 303, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. But, so out of all of those, I love them all, and I've been reviewing them, and I'm going to continue to do that every week as they come out. So I'm not going to really play catch-up. I'm just going to start where I start. I will do a quick catch-up right now. I'll review Spawn 1 to 10 very quickly right now. I'm not going to bring them all out and show them all to you. They're old issues now. It's done. They're genius. I absolutely love them all. In order to rate comics and movies, I use the SPACE system, which I developed a while back. And it stands for Story, Pacing, Artistry, Characters, and Enjoyment. Each one of those categories gets a score out of a 2. 2 being the best. If I thought the story was amazing, I would give it a 2 out of 2. If I thought the story was okay, I would give it a 1 out of 2. If I thought the story was bad, I would give it a 0, and you can assign a 0.5 difference if you need to. So you could do a 1.5 out of 2 if you didn't think it was quite there. So in that sense, every category is scored the same way. At the end, you get a score out of 10. That's your score. So the storyline for me, for all of these Gunslingers, 1 through 10, is just, well, I can say 1 through 11, screw it, 1 to 11. I'd say the storyline is 2 out of 2. I've absolutely loved this entire storyline. I love the way that this has been developing. I think it's been a great, some people might think, and I'm not saying 2 out of 2 saying that this is better than Watchmen or something like that, right? Or I'm not saying this is better than Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? We don't compare that way. We compare, the way I do my reviews is that I compare it to itself. That sounds weird, but when someone says, hey, there's this comic book, it's called Gunslinger Spawn. It's about this Spawn from the 1800s, and he's been sucked into sort of our time, and now he's got to figure out what's going on. Plus, he's looking for revenge on the people that wronged him in his time, and some of them are here now, or their descendants, or whatever. So he's looking to get revenge and possibly go back and change what happened. He had a sister that was brutally killed. We don't have the full story exactly how all that went down. He needs to get revenge. So I'm basing the story on my score on how well that story was told. So this is not, I'm not saying that Spawn issue 11 is better than Watchmen. Okay, that is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that how good was this issue compared to how good it could have been, right? That's how I review movies. It's really the only fair way to do it. It's like yourself. You can't compare yourself to other people. You compare yourself to your previous self. You know, yes, maybe last year I made a lot of stupid mistakes, or maybe when I was a teenager I made a lot of stupid mistakes, but I'm not going to make those mistakes now, and I'm a better person. So that's how I do this. So I'm giving it 2 out of 2. I've absolutely loved this story, guys. I think it's fantastic. I think it's exciting. Issue to issue, I keep wanting to read the next one. That brings us into the pacing. The pacing of these issues is also a perfect score of 2 out of 2. Every time I finish one issue, I can't believe how fast I read it, and I can't wait to get to the next issue. That is how I've been able to just basically binge these last few issues, these 10 issues. I binged the crap out of them. I think they're amazing. The next category is artistry. I think the artistry is pretty damn good. I would give it a 1.5 on most issues and a 2 on other issues. Again, I'm not saying that Gunslinger issue 11 is better than Jack Kirby, okay? I'm not saying that. That is absolutely foolishness. Nobody says stuff like that. Jack Kirby is the king of comics and one of my favorite artists in any medium of all time. Gunslinger 11 is not better than Jack Kirby's art. What I'm saying is that when I pick this up and I look at the art and the panel arrangements and just the character designs and the covers, how excited am I for those covers and the interiors? And I'm super excited. I'm between a 1.5 and a 2. I think it started out as a 1.5. I thought the colors weren't popping as good as they could have in the first few issues, but quickly got fixed in the later issues. And now I think the art is at a 2 out of 2. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. And then for characters, I'm going to be giving the characters a 2 out of 2, a perfect score. Again, a perfect score. Again, I'm not saying that Gunslinger Spawn is a better character than Batman or than Superman or than Incredible Hulk or Spider-Man or any of those guys. Batman and Superman are my favorite 2 characters. No, Spawn is not better than Superman. No, he is not better than Batman. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the character of Spawn, the character of Gunslinger Spawn, the character of Jessica Priest, of Medieval Spawn, all of these characters are amazing for what they're trying to do. That's why it gets a 2 out of 2. Where I'm not saying that Gunslinger is better than Superman, right? That's crazy. What I'm saying is that I enjoy reading about the characters of Spawn and Gunslinger and She-Spawn and Medieval Spawn and all those guys, Redeemer. I enjoy reading those characters just as much as I'm enjoying reading Batman, okay? So that's why it's getting a perfect score. It's not saying one is better than the other. Spawn is not comparable to Batman. They're not the same. They are teaming up. And they've teamed up before, I thought. I think I had that comic. But they're teaming up, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay. And for the enjoyment, obviously I'm giving it a 2 out of 2 for my enjoyment factor. Enjoyment is an intangible factor that just says, I love this comic. So I'm giving Gunslinger and all the issues 10 out of 10. Again, please, because I know people argue with me all the time on this. I'm not saying that Gunslinger 1 through 11 is better than Watchmen 1 through 12. What I'm saying is that I'm friggin' enjoying this a lot. And I think people who are into Spawn and into this concept will enjoy it. So I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 based on Spawn universe. Think of the Spawn universe, the characters in that universe. How well do those elements come together in these comics? I think they come together perfectly. I would change nothing. So we can look at Spawn number 11. Again, this review is rubbish. I will do more in-depth reviews for the issues solo going forward. I've already done King Spawn number 14, which just came out. Check that video out. I've done Spawn 333, I think. Or 334, whatever the latest one is, I've done. So I'm going to do those every week as they come out. This week is Gunslinger, I believe, number 12. But I'm going to review that, and I will go in-depth review on those. I won't just tell you now saying, oh, 10 out of 10, and I will go through each category and explain what score I'm giving it to you. Again, comic to comic, I think maybe issues 1, 2, and 3, I would not have given a 10 out of 10. I think maybe I would have given those like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10, let's say. But it's getting better. And it probably would have been, I would have dinged it a little bit on maybe the colors. I don't think the coloring was as good. And maybe I would have dinged it a little bit on the enjoyment because I was still getting my kind of my feel for Spawn, for Gunslinger. But now I absolutely love this character. Javier is an amazing character. I think he's very interesting. One of the more interesting versions of the Spawn or the Hellspawn. Again, so we're looking at the art here. I think Jessica looks great in this comic. I love the way this entire thing is just laid out here. I mean, it is panel-y, and there are panels like this. So again, you might ding, if you're going individual comics, if I was going individually issue number 11, perhaps I'd give it a 1.5 on the artistry because it is a little bit pedestrian. Well, not pedestrian, but it's a little bit standard, let's say, for the paneling. But you got great pages like this, which is an amazing page. That's a great splash, double splash page right there. I think this character looks pretty badass, right? I love these 90s kind of design badass characters. Look at this. This is cool, right? So yeah, now see, this is a little bit more of a more interesting page, right? With a little bit of kind of different kind of panels in the middle there. So this is a great little great page as well. So again, you know, this individual book, issue number 11, perhaps I would have given this maybe like an 8.5 or a 9, right? If I was actually going through it and trying to actually kind of nitpick it. Because I do want to nitpick. I don't want to say everything's 10 out of 10. But I'm going to average them all out to 10 out of 10 because, or at least, you know, 9.5 out of 10, right? I think this Gunslinger has been an amazing series. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite of the Spawn books. That's saying a lot because all the Spawn books to me are excellent books. I can't even really rank them. They're just all so good. Something happened with Gunslinger. I just kind of fell in love with this character, and that's that. But let me know what your thoughts are on Gunslinger. Let me know what your thoughts are on Spawn in general. I'm going to be doing a monthly live stream talking with my buddies and having a sort of round table here with Spawn. And I'm going to invite anybody that wants to come on. You don't have to come on camera. You can just do audio only. Of course, you can come into the chat and we'll try to talk with you in the chat, highlight your comments and that kind of a thing. But I would love to even invite people into the stream so they can talk live with us about their love of Spawn. I don't think Spawn's getting enough credit out there. People keep saying they want this, that, and the other from comic books. Marvel and DC are not giving them to you, but Spawn is giving it to you. And there's all these trigger words now, diversity and all this other crap. Well, Javier, boom, Al Simmons is a black guy, right? She's Spawn. I mean, stop it. Stop pretending that there's not comics out there that are diverse when there are. They're in your hand. They've been around a long time. Spawn is the longest running independent comic there ever was, people. Why are we pretending that that's not a thing? Why are we pretending that that's not something to be happy about? Is it just because there's no MCU or there's no Spawn universe to talk about? Is that why it's not getting the love that it deserves? it wasn't getting the love it deserved from me. I abandoned Spawn. I left, right? It took the downfall of DC and Marvel for me to come back to Spawn, and he is reliable, and I'm not going anywhere now. I learned my lesson. It was a 150 issue lesson or whatever. No, it was a 250 issue lesson that I had to learn, and I learned it, and I'm a better person for it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Gunslinger. I know this video is going to be titled Gunslinger Spawn Review, you know, number 11 review, and it's obviously more than that. But I wanted to talk about Gunslinger in general. But let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe if you are interested. If you're not interested, that is great. I appreciate you viewing this video regardless of whether you're a subscriber or not. I thank you so much for paying attention. It's been, wow, 15 minutes of me babbling on about this. Gosh. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you on the live stream. If I don't, that's cool. I will definitely see you guys this week for Gunslinger Spawn number 12, I think is what's coming out this week. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think that's what's coming out. So looking forward to hearing from you guys. All right, until next time.